What if I told you there's a country where funerals turn into all-night gambling parties? Where thousands of people live inside cemeteries among the dead, and where eating food from garbage dumps is considered normal? A place where people toss aside chopsticks, spoons, forks, and preferring to eat with their bare hands. Where car horns replace words in everyday conversations, and grapefruit thorns are used to carve the strangest tattoos you've ever seen. Let's explore the 20 craziest secrets that only happen in the Philippines. In the Philippines, funerals are not only a time to remember the deceased, but also an occasion for friends, neighbors, and extended family to gather, eat, chat, and sometimes even play cards in the house where the funeral is held. There are two main reasons behind this unusual tradition. First, according to local beliefs, family and friends must stay up all night with the deceased to watch over the body and prevent evil spirits, known as aswangs, from disturbing or stealing the deceased's soul, and playing cards and chatting will help keep everyone awake throughout the night. Second, the winnings from these games are often pooled to cover funeral expenses, demonstrating a strong sense of solidarity among the living. The North Cemetery in Manila, the capital city, is one of the most unusual places in the Philippines. This area isn't just a burial ground for the deceased, it's also home to thousands of living people. The reason is quite simple: poverty. With real estate prices in Manila skyrocketing, many impoverished families can't afford to rent or buy a home. In this situation, the cemetery becomes an ideal alternative, a place with shelter, open space, and a peaceful environment. Over time, people began constructing brick homes directly on top of graves or within the pathways. Children play on gravestones, adults cook next to mausoleums, and some even open small shops or earn a living by taking care of graves. What started as temporary shelter gradually became permanent residence. While life here may have become normal for the residents, for outsiders, the scene often evokes a strange and surreal feeling. Some old tombs have crumbled, exposing bones. Skulls and fragments can sometimes be seen lying in corners or behind makeshift shelters. If living among the dead seems extreme, wait until you hear about Pag Pag. Pag Pag refers to leftover food thrown away by restaurants, fast food chains, or households, usually fried chicken, grilled meat, rice, or vegetables. These leftovers are collected, rinsed with cold water, seasoned again, and fried one more time before being sold at very low prices to those in need. In some neighborhoods across the Philippines, long lines of people waiting to buy hot servings of Pag Pag are not an unusual sight. At just around 70 cents, it is even cheaper than a pack of instant noodles. The Philippine government has warned many times about the health risks of eating Pag Pag, but the demand remains because for many people living in poverty, hunger is far more dangerous than bacteria. One of the mild shocks many tourists experience when visiting the Philippines happens in the most private of places. In many public restrooms, hawker stalls, and even some larger restaurants, toilet paper is often not provided. Instead, you will see a plastic bucket and a ladle for use, known as a tabo. The reason is simple. Filipinos mainly use water for personal hygiene instead of paper. This practice actually predates the widespread availability of toilet paper and is considered more hygienic by many locals. Therefore, carrying toilet paper is always a necessary survival skill if you want to avoid awkward situations. This cultural difference extends to language as well. In the Philippines, tissue is the general term for paper towels, toilet paper, or napkins. Conversely, napkin is understood to mean a feminine hygiene product. So if you enter a restaurant and ask for a napkin, don't be surprised if the staff momentarily hesitates before asking you again with embarrassment. One of the most infamous dishes that tests the limits of even the most adventurous travelers is balut, a fertilized duck egg with a partially developed embryo, complete with tiny feathers and a beak, often eaten with salt, pepper, and herbs. When it comes to cracking open the egg and seeing the tiny duckling inside, many Western tourists often flee in horror. But for Filipinos, balut is a beloved delicacy and is often considered a coming-of-age ritual for anyone who truly wants to experience the local culture. Another dish that often causes hesitation is Betamax, coagulated animal blood cut into rectangular blocks, skewered and grilled over charcoal. The name comes from its resemblance to old Betamax video cassettes. Then there's Isaw, which consists of thoroughly cleaned and seasoned chicken or pork intestines, grilled until crispy. These foods might seem extreme to outsiders, but they represent the Filipino philosophy of using every part of an animal and creating something delicious from what others might discard. Sign up for more unusual adventures and strange facts you won't find in textbooks. The Bajau are a semi-nomadic tribe scattered throughout Southeast Asia, from Indonesia to the Philippines and Malaysia. What makes them extraordinary is their relationship with the ocean. Regardless of gender or age, both young men and women of the Bajau tribe are passionate about diving. They can spend up to 8 hours a day diving deep underwater, reaching depths of 12 to 15 meters and even up to 40 meters. According to recent research, the Bajau's bodies have adapted to their aquatic lifestyle over generations. Their organs have evolved, such as having a larger spleen, which helps increase oxygen in the blood when diving. When they dive, their heart rate decreases and blood is diverted to essential organs, allowing the Bajau to extend their breath holding time underwater. This adaptation is significant evidence that the Bajau tribe has evolved genetically to thrive in their environment. Their lives revolve around fishing, using simple homemade tools. In addition to fishing, they dive for sea cucumbers, pearls and sea urchins, rare products that they trade for food on land. Despite their incredible abilities, the Bajau people face modern challenges as they often lack citizenship and formal education, making their traditional way of life increasingly difficult to maintain. Located right on the Pacific Ring of Fire, the Philippines is one of the most earthquake-prone regions in the world. The Philippines reportedly experiences more than 20 earthquakes every day, meaning the ground is hardly ever truly still. Fortunately, most of these earthquakes are very small and can only be detected with specialized equipment. This constant seismic activity has shaped Filipino culture in ways most people never consider. Buildings are constructed with earthquake resistance in mind, schools regularly conduct earthquake drills, and people have developed an almost supernatural calm about minor tremors that would panic populations in other countries. Flooding has also become a feature of the Philippines. During the rainy season, just a few hours of heavy rain can turn streets into rivers, with water rising to knee-high or even waist-high in some areas. This happens almost every year, especially during the rainy season from June to November, and locals seem to have come to accept it as a part of everyday life. As the streets flood, children still float on makeshift rafts, street vendors continue to push their carts, and some people even take the opportunity to fish in the middle of the street. Have you ever tried eating with your hands without using chopsticks, spoons, or forks? In the Philippines, Kamayan, which means to eat with hands in Tagalog, is not just a way to enjoy food but a tradition that signifies the bond between people. At a Kamayan feast, a long table is covered with lush green banana leaves, piled high with steaming white rice, aromatic grilled meats, fresh seafood, ripe mangoes, salted eggs, and a variety of rich dipping sauces. There are no separate plates. Everyone eats directly with their hands, creating an intimate, warm, and joyful atmosphere. Today, although most people are accustomed to using utensils, Kamayan is still popular for special occasions like festivals, family gatherings, or outdoor parties. Many Filipino restaurants even serve Kamayan-style dining as a unique cultural experience for visitors. The practice connects people to their food in a primal way and breaks down social barriers as everyone participates equally. Did you know that buying a car in the Philippines can be up to 50% more expensive than in other countries? This is not just due to car prices, but also because of a series of exorbitant taxes. The Philippine government imposes a special excise tax on cars ranging from 4% to 50%, a 12% VAT, and if the car is imported, you'll face heavy import taxes as well. For example, a car priced at $20,000 before taxes can end up costing $30,000 or more after all taxes are added. This policy aims to control the number of vehicles on the road and reduce traffic congestion, but it has made it difficult for many Filipinos to afford a new car. Meanwhile, the average salary of Filipinos is only around $300 to $500 per month, making purchasing a new car nearly impossible for the middle class and working individuals. Only those with high incomes, successful entrepreneurs, or those willing to pay a hefty sum for transportation can afford new vehicles. If you visited the Philippines between 2010 and 2018, you would have seen the haunting scenes. Beaches covered in plastic bags, canals clogged with used shampoo sachets, and dead fish trapped in instant coffee cups. This beautiful island nation was once publicly dubbed the plastic waste capital of Southeast Asia. The root cause of the problem comes from the Philippines' unique consumer habits. Almost every product is sold in small, single-use sachets. From cooking oil, soy sauce, toothpaste to shampoo, soap, and instant coffee, all come in tiny plastic sachets. With low average incomes, many people prefer to buy just enough for the day, resulting in millions of plastic sachets being torn and thrown away every day. These sachets are rarely recycled or collected. Instead, they drift through the canals, drift with the currents, and straight out to sea. What makes this even more tragic is that these same waters that are polluted with plastic waste are home to some of the world's most beautiful marine life. However, recent years have shown remarkable improvement. Grassroots movements, government initiatives, and changing consumer habits have significantly reduced plastic waste. Many areas once known as pollution hotspots are now cleaner, proving that collective action can create real change. When you walk down the streets or alleys of most areas in the Philippines, one of the first things you will notice is the sheer number of dogs everywhere. These stray dogs roam freely, either alone or in small packs, running around the streets without a leash or muzzle. The reason is simple. In the Philippines, there are no strict dog laws like in the US or Europe. Most dogs are owned by families but are allowed to roam freely all day long. Furthermore, there are also many stray dogs that are not owned by anyone. What is remarkable is that most of these dogs are very gentle. They rarely bark at strangers or act aggressively. Instead, they live peacefully with humans. Many dogs are seen lounging on the sidewalks in the shade, resting in quiet corners, or casually following children without causing any trouble. This creates a unique urban ecosystem where dogs, people, and vehicles share the same spaces in surprising harmony. For visitors from countries with strict animal control, seeing dozens of free-roaming dogs can be initially alarming, but most quickly realize these animals are part of the community fabric. The Taal Volcano is a natural wonder located in the province of Batangas, Philippines. It has become a cultural symbol for the surrounding communities, who have developed unique burial rituals that honor the deceased and their relationship with the volcano. One such burial ritual is the paglilibing sa bundok, or burial on the mountain. This practice involves burying the deceased on the slopes of the Taal volcano as close to the crater lake as possible. The belief is that by being buried on the mountain, the deceased will be protected from any potential eruptions or disasters that may occur in the future. Another burial ritual related to the Taal volcano is the paglalagay sa bungo, or placing in the skull. In this ritual, the skull of the deceased is removed and used as a vessel to hold their remains. The skull is then placed in a prominent location, such as on a shelf or mantle, where it can be venerated and honored by family and friends. It's important to note that these burial rituals are deeply rooted in the cultural traditions of the surrounding communities and are practiced with great respect and reverence for the deceased. These practices show how geography and spirituality intertwine in Filipino culture. One of the most notable creatures found here is the reticulated python, the longest snake in the world. Although they typically range from 3 to 6 meters long, some exceptional specimens can reach up to 10 meters, a huge size for any snake. The reticulated python is not only famous for its length but also for its beautiful patterned skin, which provides excellent camouflage in the dense forests of the Philippines. Equally famous is the Philippine eagle, one of the largest and rarest birds of prey in the world. With a body length of up to 1 meter and a wingspan of around 2.2 meters, this majestic bird of prey is often referred to as the king of the jungle. Its most striking feature is the majestic crest of feathers on its head, which gives it a truly majestic appearance. An adult eagle can weigh up to 8 kg, with females being larger than males. As an endangered species, encountering one in the wild is a rare and unforgettable experience. If you've ever dreamed of seeing a real-life dragon, the Dracovolans lizard might just tickle your fancy. Also known as the flying dragon, this reptile has special flaps of skin that connect its limbs, allowing it to glide effortlessly from tree to tree. When it spreads its wings, it actually looks like a miniature dragon soaring through the forest. These creatures represent just a fraction of the Philippines' incredible biodiversity, making it one of the world's most important wildlife sanctuaries. A limestone treasure on the island of Bohol, besides the famous Chocolate Hills, there is another remarkable treasure that makes many visitors admire. The Bajau Church. This is one of the oldest churches in the Philippines, built almost entirely of coral stone. Construction began in 1595 during the Spanish colonial period and was completed in the early 18th century. What makes this church truly unique is the materials used. Locals harvested coral from the surrounding seas, dried it, and then used a mixture of egg whites and crushed seashells as mortar to bind the coral blocks together. Thanks to that, the walls were thick, cool, and extremely sturdy. If you look closely, you can see fossilized corals, seashells, and even the shapes of ancient fish hidden in the stone, details that you won't find in any other church in Europe or anywhere else. Thanks to this construction technique, the church has stood the test of time, maintaining its beauty and structure despite storms, earthquakes, and the passage of time. Inside, many original details remain intact, including the inlaid wooden altar, Baroque murals, and intricately carved columns and ceilings. Another fascinating detail is the ancient crypt that lies beneath the church. It was used to bury priests, missionaries, and prominent figures of the community for hundreds of years, adding even more historical depth to this already extraordinary site. Hilot is a traditional Filipino healing system that has been practiced for centuries by the Mangailat or traditional healers. The word Hilot means to knead or to massage, and the healing practice is based on the principle that the body has its own ability to heal itself. The Mangailat uses a variety of techniques, such as herbal remedies, massage, and manipulation of the body's energy centers, to help restore balance and harmony to the body. Hilot is often used to treat a variety of physical ailments, such as muscle pain, headaches, and digestive issues, as well as emotional and spiritual imbalances. One of the key components of Hilot healing is the use of herbal remedies. The Mangailat uses a variety of herbs such as ginger, turmeric, and lemongrass to create medicinal preparations that are used for massage, as well as for ingestion or topical application. Massage is also an important component of Hilot healing, with the Mangailat using a variety of techniques such as stretching, pressure points, and deep tissue massage to help release tension and promote healing. The massage is often done using a combination of the hands, elbows, and feet, and may be accompanied by the use of traditional healing oils and balms. Kalinga Tattooing is a traditional art form that has been practiced for centuries by the Kalinga people of the Cordillera region in northern Philippines. The art of tattooing is deeply embedded in the Kalinga culture and is seen as a way of connecting with their ancestors and honoring their heritage. The traditional Kalinga tattoos are intricate designs that cover large parts of the body, such as the arms, chest, and back. The tattoos are done using a thorn made from the stem of a pomelo tree, which is attached to a bamboo stick. The thorn is dipped into ink made from soot or charcoal and then tapped into the skin using a wooden mallet. The tattooing process is a communal event with family and friends gathering to offer support and guidance to the person getting the tattoo. The tattoo artist is also seen as a respected member of the community with years of training and experience in the art of tattooing. These tattoos tell stories of bravery, status, and spiritual beliefs, serving as a living library of Kalinga culture etched into human skin. In the noisy world of Philippine traffic with its honking signals, the most recognizable sight on the streets is the jeepney, the country's most famous form of public transport and a beloved cultural icon. Originally adapted from American military jeeps left over from World War II, jeepneys have been transformed by Filipinos into passenger vehicles with long bodies, two benches, and eye-catching, colorful designs with bright paint, decorative lights, and striking motifs. Each jeepney is a mobile work of art. Millions of Filipinos use jeepneys every day to go to school, work, the market, or simply visit friends. Fares are cheap. They operate almost 24 hours a day, and you can get on and off anywhere on the road by simply raising your hand. Each jeepney reflects the personality of its rider and pop culture references, from humorous slogans and religious symbols to superheroes and band posters. What's even more interesting is what happens when a jeepney is retired. Instead of being scrapped immediately, old vehicles are often sent to large storage yards affectionately known as rainbow graveyards. The rusted but still brightly painted jeepneys become popular photo spots for young people and inspiration for street artists. For many, jeepneys are more than just a means of transportation. They are cultural icons of Philippine urban life. If you ask which country loves karaoke the most, the Philippines will almost certainly top the list. Karaoke is everywhere. Bars, restaurants, neighborhoods, private homes, and even on the sidewalks. Filipinos can sing karaoke for any occasion: birthdays, family gatherings, festivals, or simply to relax after a long day at work. What's special is that here, everyone confidently holds the mic, no matter how good they are. Children, adults, and even the elderly all have their favorite songs, and most are happy to sing when invited, whether invited or not. Karaoke has become an indispensable part of community life, filling the air with music and laughter from morning to night. But karaoke in the Philippines is not always just about entertainment. There was a time when Frank Sinatra's classic My Way was banned or restricted in some karaoke bars due to its unexpected association with controversy and even violence. The song's popularity meant that everyone wanted to try it out, but sometimes when someone sang poorly or too loudly, it led to serious arguments. As a result, some karaoke bars removed My Way from their playlists to avoid any potential conflicts. While such incidents are rare today, they have become part of the karaoke myth in the Philippines, a culture that is not only vibrant and fun but also surprisingly dangerous. Filipinos don't just express themselves through singing. They also communicate with each other through honking their cars. If you're walking down the streets of the Philippines for the first time, especially in big cities like Manila or Cebu, you'll quickly notice the almost constant honking of cars. But don't be too upset. For locals, honking is not a sign of pressure or anger. On the contrary, it is a widely accepted form of communication, sometimes more effective than words. Drivers use their horns to ask for the right of way, to say thank you, to signal someone to slow down, or simply to say hello. On narrow roads, in heavy traffic, or at busy intersections, honking often replaces the turn signal to let others know you are passing. Some drivers have even developed their own honking etiquette. 2 short honks mean thank you. 1 long honk means please let me through. And if you hear a rhythmic honking, it may just be friendly teasing between drivers who know each other. In the Philippines, honking is not noise. It is conversation on wheels. Located in the southern Philippines, Davao City was once famous not only for its peace and cleanliness, but also for something truly unusual. At one point, people there set their clocks 30 minutes ahead of the rest of the country to boost productivity. In the 1990s, the local government of Davao adopted what it called Davao Time, a self-declared time zone 30 minutes ahead of National Standard Time. The goal was simple: to encourage people to start their day earlier, get to work on time, and end their workday earlier so they could spend more time with their families. Government offices, schools, and even local TV stations adopted the time change. Although it was never officially recognized by law, it became a part of daily life in the city for many years. In fact, this local time system worked surprisingly well for a while. Many schools, offices, and public services operated on Davao time. Eventually, the city reverted to National Standard Time to avoid confusion when dealing with other regions. But the story of a major city that chose to stay ahead of its time is remembered today as an innovative and uniquely Filipino approach to local culture and productivity. If this journey through the hidden Philippines has surprised you, hit that like button and let me know in the comments which secret shocked you the most. Subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most fascinating cultures, because every country has stories like these waiting to be told. We are so glad you are with us today. Please leave a comment, like the video to support us, and subscribe for more videos. See you soon.